The new culture war raging across America is over books, AKA movies without the cool sound effects. Yeah, I always think the movies are better. I'm gonna read a book and then I gotta do it myself. Pew, 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 said Harry Potter. Now, even though most kids only read books in school to hide their erections, some parents and politicians have suddenly gotten very concerned about which books are available in schools. And they're dealing with this problem that they invented, by the way, in a time-honored way, with a good old-fashioned book ban.
According to the New York Times, the pace at which groups of parents and officials and lawmakers are challenging books in school libraries has reached a speed that many haven't seen in decades.
Just since the start of the school year, the American Library Association has tracked more than 230 book challenges nationwide.
Parents and school officials banning books at an unprecedented rate. Record requests to nearly 100 Texas districts found that during the first 4 months of this school year, parents made at least 75 formal complaints, compared to only one filed during the same period last year.
A Virginia school district is pulling library books off of the shelves, and some board members say they want to burn them.
I want to look at every book that you guys, a copy of every book that is pulled out of circulation. I'm sure we've got hundreds of people out there that would like to see those books before we burn them.
They want to burn books? Burn books. We're not in the 1900s. We're living in 2022. We shouldn't be burning books. We have air fryers and microwaves and all kinds of cool shit now. We could be like filleting the books. You know, we could be lightly roasting the books, put some butter and some salt. Ooh, you taste that book now? That's food for thought. See what I did there? But yeah, that's the situation right now. Parents across the country are trying to get books banned from certain schools, right? And I'll be honest, if I was a kid in school right now, I would jump in and use this outrage to my advantage. Yeah, the parents would all be there like, we have to get these books off the shelves. Yeah, and don't forget the trigonometry textbooks and the yearbook where I had that weird rash on my face. Burn them all. Now, I'll be honest, people, I don't know if these culture warriors have thought this through, because making something forbidden just makes teenagers want it more. Think about it. Anytime parents would say something would make them mad, what would happen? Their kids would want to do it even more. Yeah, now they're gonna be like, no books for these kids. You keep this up and soon, reading books is gonna be the new dating a black guy. And look, there have always been, don't get me wrong, there've always been some parents who've wanted books pulled from schools and libraries. That's always been a thing. You know, like conservatives wanted to ban Harry Potter for promoting witchcraft. Liberals want to ban Huckleberry Finn for using the N-word. Mockingbirds want to burn that book about killing them. But recently, the number of books being targeted has gotten out of control. And the types of books that are being targeted now are very revealing.
Books on race, gender, and sexuality are disappearing from school shelves.
Books about coming of age and reckoning with real-world problems like depression, gender politics, and racial injustice, history like the Holocaust or slavery.
One Tennessee district banning Mouse, a Pulitzer Prize-winning graphic novel about the Holocaust.
One tells a story of school segregation through the eyes of Mexican-American students. One is about the March on Washington. And two are about civil rights icon Ruby Bridges.
One parent even asked the district to remove a biography of Michelle Obama, arguing the book promotes reverse racism. The district denied the request.
I can't believe these people want to ban a Michelle Obama biography. It's a biography. That totally gives away the game that this is more about ginning up a culture war than protecting kids. Because once you're banning a book about any first lady, that's political. I don't care what anybody says. There's no book about a first lady that's controversial, you know? Unless maybe it's like Martha Jefferson's book, 101 Tips for Owning Slave Children Who Kind of Look Like My Husband. Yeah, that's a little edgy for the kids, but otherwise, it's pretty chill. And you can see how crazy this book banning trend has gotten, right? They're banning books about race, about gender, about sexuality, about emotions, about history. Guys, that's all books. Think about it. You take away all of those books, and what are you going to be left with, huh? A how-to book about making pottery? Wrong! That vase is too sexy. I also can't believe that they're going to ban Ruby Bridges. You understand how crazy that is? You're going to ban a book about Ruby Bridges. So that poor girl needed the National Guard to get her into school. Now they're going to have the National Guard escort her out. And look, I'm not saying that schools shouldn't be allowed to curate what books they carry. I'm not saying that. I know people are going to say, you're saying that the schools shouldn't get to decide for themselves. No, I'm not saying, I'm exactly not saying that. But you are saying, I'm not saying that. Libraries have always decided which books are in and which books are not in. Like, you can't have a Playboy in the school library. I mean, I did it, but I brought it in myself. They didn't stock it for me. They just gave me the space to read it. But I guarantee you, the vast majority of schools don't even have the most outrageous books that are on these lists. What's happening here is that people are finding the most scary parts of the most scary books. And then they're making a bad faith argument that kids are being bombarded with all of this stuff. So all the books have to go. And that happens even if you try and talk about books. Like, if I say books shouldn't be banned, I know someone's going to pull out the most extreme example from some random library at a school and be like, oh, really, Trevor? You're okay with kids reading this? And I don't know. Maybe I'm not. But now we're arguing about one page in one book as if that's the story, when the actual story is people are using these books as an excuse to go after all the books that they don't like. Because, again, people, this isn't about books, all right? This is about keeping the culture war going for political benefits. You don't just have Republicans in dozens of states around the country suddenly realizing all at the same time that there are books that they want to ban in their libraries. All at the same time? Come on. It's happening because they think it's a winning issue. Or at least they think it's more of a winning issue than Trump is secretly still the president. But I am. Shut up. You're going to make us lose. And the problem with waging a culture war instead of debating a political issue is that when people are fighting a war, they don't want to just win an argument. No, they want to punish the enemy.
In Wyoming, a county prosecutor's office considered charges against library employees for stocking books like Sex is a Funny Word and This Book is Gay.
In Oklahoma, a bill sets a $10,000 bounty to be collected by parents for each day a challenged book remains on library shelves.
Texas Governor Greg Abbott called for criminal charges against staff who provide kids with pornographic books.
School librarians fearing for their own safety now over books.
Many of us have had to take measures in our personal lives that we never would have imagined we'd had to do because of our profession.
Wow, people, are you seeing this? You seeing this? Like, this is the interview an insider gives when they're ratting out El Chapo. Not when they've exposed the magical friendship between a pig and a spider. I mean, just think about how insane things have gotten, where school librarians feel scared for their safety. They've got these crazy parents coming after them on top of all the other stuff that they have to worry about on a daily basis. School shootings, COVID, their students finding out that they just made up the Dewey Decimal System to sound smarter than everyone else. This book is by Dr. Seuss. Is that under S? No, actually, that book's in 791.45/75, you idiot! And look, man, it's one thing for parents to be upset about a book that their kid is reading at school. But once you offer a $10,000 bounty, think about what you're doing there. Now, you're using money to just try and stir up shit. I mean, of course, people are going to start combing the shelves for anything that might pay out. 10 grand is a lot of money. 10 grand for banning a book is more than most authors made for writing that book. So that's the latest culture war that's tearing America apart. It's happening in schools. And who knows if it'll even stop there? Because maybe it'll start in schools, but pretty soon, any place the kids go to find books could become a target.
Hey y'all, LeVar Burton here, and I am so excited to read with you today. Our first selection is called Rosa, and it's the story of Rosa Parks, who... So, as it turns out, that book is banned because reading about segregation is divisive. But since almost any book with black people these days is considered divisive, here's one that doesn't have any people in it at all. It's about two penguins and their little baby. Both penguins are boys. Well, I'm told that that book is also banned because of sexual perversion, which is weird because there's no sex in the book at all. Y'all, they adopted the baby. What do you guys want? A mommy and a daddy penguin so the kids can make sure that the penguins are knocking boots? All right, I've got one that they can't possibly have a problem with. Hop on Pop. What? Disrespectful to parents? You gotta be kidding me. All right, listen, there are plenty of books to choose from. But you know what? No. Read the books they don't want you to. That's where the good stuff is. Oh shit, they're coming. Read banned books!